Tommy Best, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now here's your host.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle, and I'm talking to the man himself, Mr. Matt Smasher of the band Planet Smashers. What's going on, Matt?
Oh man, I'm just enjoying the summer. It's good to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
No, good to have you, man. Usually when I have people on for the first time, I like to kind of take it way back. So do you
Cool.
Remember originally what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Oh, astronaut. Obviously, I wanted to be an astronaut, or the other one was a musician. But that's when I was delivering my papers, my paper route. I had a paper route, and I remember trying to write songs and then thinking, like, I don't know if this astronaut thing's going to work out. So
Nice.
anyway,
So you figured another way to smash the planets.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
And
But,
then, like, the musician thing, like, when did that, I mean, what was some of your earliest influences that kind of caught your ear?
I mean, okay, so my brother, he's a little older than me, like quite a bit. He went to England in like I'm thinking like 79, I'm guessing. It might have been 80. And he left town as a prep. Like, you know, he was like a preppy kid living in the suburbs of Toronto. And he came back. He smashed his 2 front teeth out jumping into a pool. He also came back with a shaved head. And he was like a rude boy / punk. And that kind of changed everything for me. Like, he started playing songs that things I'd never heard of. And I remember him throwing on some Sex Pistols, but also he took my first vinyl that I ever owned was ELO, and he took it. It's a fine record, but it's not what I'm into. Took a firecracker, stuck it in there, lit it, threw it up in the air, and blew it up. So you're not listening to that shit. So
Nice.
yeah. So I was infected by ska at an early age.
And then when was it that, as you got the infection spread, when did you start, like, writing music and performing?
I didn't start playing guitar till later. You know, I went to university. I remember my mom saying, "Hey, why don't you get guitar lessons?" When I was like 16. I was like, "Man, it's too late. It's already over. It's too late, Mom." Nice lady, but she tried. But I didn't pick up a guitar until halfway through university. Started just goofing around with some friends, and I was in like a Stone Roses kind of band, like this sort of acid, I don't know, Manchester it was called at the time. That didn't work out. Then I went to a garage punk band, and then I went to some ska shows, and I was like, hey man, everyone's having a lot more fun at these ska shows than they are at the garage punk bands. So just decided to do some ska. And I was probably like 23, 24 or something, man, getting old.
And then what was it, what was the like, you said you were hitting some shows, but, like, what was the music scene like in where you grew up at?
It was great. Well, by now I'm in Montreal. So Montreal's different because it's a big city and everything. But because it's mainly French, I don't know. I think culturally it's just a little different. Like, there's not a lot of pressure there's no real formula. Like, you know what I mean? In some music, like in Toronto, it's generally, and in LA, you're kind of writing, there's like a little box and you got to write music like that if it's going to work. And whereas in other weirder towns, it's just, you kind of just do stuff. And, at the time in the scene, there was a lot of punk, a lot of ska bands starting out in Montreal. And that's kind of what did it for me. I was in that scene. And, there was bands like a band called Me, Mom, and Morgenthaler that was ska, and they were, pretty politically involved. Back then I was young. It was all good. It was great. So I remember going to those shows and just, basically anti-racist action and all that stuff. And the neo-Nazis would show up and they'd have like brawls in the parking lot. It was pretty rough, I'll be honest. It was pretty rough, but it was fun. No one really got hurt.
Yeah, I remember we had kind of similar situations up here in Cleveland. I mean, we handled business and let them know what
Right on.
wasn't allowed. You know, we weren't going to accept in our music scene, and
I'm down.
eventually it went away or went more underground. I guess I don't know.
I think
But,
it's more underground. I think, but at the same time, yeah, it's always there. Just push it back.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so when did you start performing with the Planet Smashers?
Man, we've been around for a long time. Like I'm old man. And the 95 was our first, when we first started getting serious. We had like versions of the band that was kind of not real earlier than that, just a reason to drink and smoke. But 95, we really started working hard at it. And that's right around the time when, Stomp Records, the ska scene in Montreal was really going off in 95. It was great. And again, we were a little insulated from what was happening outside of Montreal, because that's how it was back then. You didn't have internet. You didn't know what was going on in the other scenes. And I remember Out Come the Wolves came out, and getting that album, I was like, whoa, this is going to change stuff, man. This is going to get crazy. And that's when ska kind of like took off. Moon Records kind of led the charge, and we founded Stomp up in Montreal. So we had a bunch of ska bands on the label. Eventually it changed. Now we don't do, Stomp is everything from hardcore to hip hop to garage punk to psychobilly, but and ska. But that's what it was back then. It was mainly a ska record label. So it was fun. It was exciting. Everything was new. I mean, I remember originally this band, we covered Op Ivy, Unity, and people thought it was our song, and we didn't tell them it wasn't. Like, dude, you should play that Anthem song every day. That song's so good. We're like, yeah, thanks. Right on. Our song sucks.
And what was the what inspired the name Planet Smashers?
Oh, well, we had to choose between three choices. I can't remember. One was like Super Tanker with umlauts on all the vowels. That didn't work. Another one I think was just Log. Great names. We weren't very creative back then. And then the bass player at the time was like, I like the idea of traveling through space and like crushing planets. I'm like, oh
Yeah, your childhood astronaut.
There it is. Oddly, you would think it had something to do with the name, but it didn't. It was just out of having a good time one night, and that's what stuck. And we're like, okay, we'll do that. So now it's that.
And then you mentioned kind of like Rancid and Operation Ivy and stuff, but who were some of your guys' like ska influences?
Well, definitely the Bosstones. I mean, they were at the time contemporary, but they kind of got out of that shell pretty quick. But going way back, the Specials, Madness, even a little bit of Bad Manners to a certain extent, and certainly the Selector. Those two-tone bands really affected the way we approach ska music, and we tried to embody that in our music. At times it doesn't happen, but there's plenty of songs in our catalog that are very two-tony. But then again, bands like Rancid had an effect. Bosstones were just some of that we were trying to, understand, because they were doing something a little different than everybody else, and that was pretty cool. So, yeah.
And then, I mean, you said you guys have been around quite a while. It's like, I was reading in your bio. It's like, I mean, you guys are getting like 30 million streams, out there. Like, is it one particular song that kind of blew up for you that got the attention, or that's just?
It's different in each market. I mean, in each like country, like in Canada, it was a little easier. But Life of the Party, our third album, is our biggest album up here. Whereas in the States, Unstoppable is our biggest, which is our fifth. Mighty is right behind it. Over in Europe, it was Mighty. That was our biggest album. And in Japan, surprisingly, it was Attack of the Planet Smashers, their second record. They were a little ahead of the curve. So it's all different. But in the end, it's weird how Spotify works. They kind of make songs that, really weren't your most popular song into what is now the song you have to play in your set. You can't get away with it. So it's
yeah.
there's it's weird how that works. Their algorithm, I don't know. whatever, man. But it seems to be what it is. But yeah, it's cool, like having played for 3 decades. We've seen a lot of change. At the same time, it's always the same. We're always having fun, and we're always lucky to be doing it. So that's the standard. That's the thing that doesn't change for us. So I hope it continues. I think it will. I can't see why. Getting together with the guys now is a riot. You just get to see people you've shared a lot of your life with that you haven't shared with anyone else. So it's very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was checking out the latest single, "Meet Me on the Dance Floor." I
Pop
was
song.
my girlfriend was really enjoying it, man. She was like,
good.
got her moves going. But what was the inspiration for that song?
Honestly, it was we did 2 festivals in the States last fall. One is in Fort Monroe, Virginia. It's called Supernova, which is just a ska festival for 3 days, I believe. And then the other was Gainesville Fest in Florida. So we did these 2. They're about a month apart. And I remember being there playing Supernova and looking the first one and looking at the crowd and seeing people kind of getting together, oh, they really seem to be happy to see each other. That's cool. And then after the show, a couple of them came out of the merch area, and I was like, oh, so you're here with a bunch of friends. I was like, oh yeah, those are my Supernova friends. A month later goes by, playing again, and there's those 2 people back doing it, and they're meet up again, they're high-fiving. So I just, during the set, I was like, how many of you people only know each other because of these festivals that you go to? And there was a huge number of people who are like, yeah, man, these are my festival buddies. I only see them twice a year, or I only see them once a year, and it's in the pit every single time. And they leave everything behind. Everything's forgotten. They don't know what football team they like. They don't know what political whatever they're involved with. They don't know what they do. They just like dancing in the pit to ska, and that's what it was. That's what it's about, And I was just like, I gotta write a song about that, man. And it just it was an easy one, honestly. I was like, hey guys, we got all these songs. Oh, I also have this one. It's a pop song.
No. So. Yeah, that's great, man. I can relate. I'm up here in like I said, in Cleveland, Ohio, and we just had the Incarceration Festival down in Mansfield came through, and then Sonic Temple usually happens in Columbus. So those are the 2 that I'm pretty religious about hitting. And then the same thing. I run into friends that I haven't seen in a while. I mean, we might chat a little bit on socials, but it's we definitely meet in person at festivals and stuff.
It's really a special thing, those festivals that kind of have that. It's more it's music, but it's whatever community. I don't even want to call it, but it's something like that. And it's just so nice because you go there and you're like, I'm gonna see all these cool bands. Oh yeah, I'm also gonna see blah 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 blah. All your buds and sometimes the hangs makes the festival the moment. Montreal, we have a festival called Pooza Fest. It's whatever, it's pizza and poutine. You know what poutine is? Yeah, pizza and poutine. You slap it on there when you're drunk. It's disgusting. It's absolutely horrible, but it's really good if you're drunk. But it's a mix of everything. It's probably 150 bands that come up, and it's great because everyone comes from all over the place and meets up there, and you hang out. It's pretty cool. I love those festivals.
Yeah, I agree. And you got the album's getting ready to come out here in August on the dance floor.
That's it. We got another single.
Goes with the single there. I take it, right?
Yeah, it was like, what are we gonna call this record? It was talking, and then it was just like, well, why don't we just do On the Dance Floor? And that brought us to a consensus. We got another single coming out before the album is dropped. I mean, it's a little different. It's a bit more, you got to listen to it. It's a bit of a ride, bit more songwriting going on. And then the album comes out August 22nd with the song called Wasted Tomorrows, which is, it's the first track on the album. And, it's about, honestly, it's about planning to waste time. So everything's so busy that you just need to hit the brakes and you say, oh, I got to take it easy, but you don't. But you literally have to schedule it these days, man. So I'm taking Tuesday, August 19th off. I'm going to sit on my butt and talk to my buds in the park,
Nice. And then, we'd mentioned, obviously it's coming out on Stomp Records. We talked a little bit about that, but you're like one of the co-founders of Stomp Records, correct?
Yeah, that's right. You know, again,
Yeah.
it
How
was,
did that all come together for you?
we tried
Start
to
your
get
own record.
we tried to get signed. We were like, oh, I'll send my cassette to, I think it was what's it called? I can't remember, some label in Toronto that had put out some ska and some hardcore that I thought was cool. I think we tried, you know, a few others, not many, but no one really cared. So we just there was another local ska band in town called the Kingpins, and they were about to release some music too. So we're like, why don't we just, you know, pretend there's a record label called Stomp and see what happens. And back then, if you put out a record, like you shipped 10,000, it was crazy. You know, I remember going around to every bank and getting as many credit cards as I can and just maxing them all out and hoping for the best before they find me. But it worked out. You know, eventually, you know, certain people came and left from the Stomp fold, but you know, since '98, it's been Mike McGee and I, and you know, now we had a great crew of people working there too, some really wonderful people. So we're fortunate that it's worked out. You know, we got bands like I said, it's not just ska bands. It was originally, but Better When Sound Clash was one of our former bands. Flatliners, Belvedere. The band that was before Simple Plan was called Reset. They were on our label. Now they're Simple Plan. There's more. You know, recently one of the stand-up bands right now is Wine Lips. They're doing great across. You know, they're like a garage psych band. It's different, but they're doing really well. You know, we also have Dreadnoughts, Celtic Punk, the Real Mackenzies, who are on Fat in the States, but they're on Stomp here. So it's a mix of everything. Yeah, it's really fun.
Nice. So yeah, so I was kind of going through the catalog a little bit, you know, on my way to work this morning, and you know, I think I found one of my new favorite Planet Smashers hits, and I think it's a, you know, old school. I think it was off of Life of the Party, I believe. Super Orgy Porno Party.
Yeah, that's a so we were gonna. We were joking around that we were going to start a EDM band because this is the beginning of EDM. Like, this is what the band's happening. Hey, maybe we should do this EDM thing too. It would be called the Super Orgy Porno Parties. It never happened. So instead, we were like, well, we should at least write a song because it's pretty stupid. So we did. Yeah, that was like a B track. We were thinking it's late on the album, and we thought it would never, you know, people wouldn't care, but it's so catchy that it's in it. We have to play it every time. We can't get away with not playing it. So, a lot of fun. You know, that's a catchy little song. Now
Definitely, man. It was so catchy. It's like I was singing it at work. It was cool until I got called into HR. You know, but
son, you're gonna have to. Yeah, you know, I mean, I got 3 girls in my family. They always thought I was singing Super Orange Portable Potty, like a Johnny on the Spot, you know, like a porta potty. And then they're like, "You're saying orgy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." They're like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And so now it feels a little inappropriate, but not really. I'm still who I am.
nice. And then you know, the album getting ready to come out here in August. Is there plans for like any like tours to support it and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, we don't tour like we used to, but we got a lot of dates coming up. We got we're starting with a couple festivals up here with a lot of similar bands like Interrupters and Streetlight Manifesto in Montreal and Quebec City, and then we got a few more shows. Late mid-September, we're down to the States for a little rip, including Cleveland.
Oh, nice.
September 25th.
September 25th. I got to write that down. Where's it at?
Where is it at? Let me just check. I think I can't even remember. Give me some club names.
I mean, let's see. We got the House of Blues. We got the Foundry. We got the Agora. We got the Grog Shop.
It's probably Grog Shop. It's probably nothing too big. Grog Shop. There it is.
Grog Shop. All right.
With their Bud's Mustard Plug. We're doing like, you know, we're getting across the Midwest that time. And then we're doing Canada in November and then another U.S. run in December. So it's pretty busy. For us, you know, busy is is more than 4 shows a month, and we're doing about 35, I think, from September to December. So that's a good stretch of shows for us, and it's going to be some of them are big, some of them we're playing Buffalo and Grand Rapids, some weird markets for us. Not necessarily Buffalo, but but we're also we're doing the biggies too. We're going to be down in New York and Washington and Philly in December. And we got to do this before our work permits run out. Our work permits run out on January 8th next year, and it takes like a year to apply now. It used to be like 3 months, but now it takes about a year to get your work permits done. So I'm going to actually apply now for next summer. So just get it going so that we're ready.
Yeah, get on that.
I mean, 'cause it sucks if you're sitting there and some band invites you to come do a tour and you're like, we don't have work permits, so we try to stay ahead of that. Normally it's a little bit easier, but I guess they just, they're changing things up there. A lot of people got fired. I don't know. I'm just guessing, what happened, but it's taking a lot longer to get our work permits done. And it's, it's the same process. They're like, if these guys aren't criminals, okay, sure. They look like fun. Let them in, but they got to do that. And I understand that has to happen. That's just what it is. So we just got to change our way of doing things, and we'll apply now. So I'm already reaching out. You probably know her. I think she does. I don't know. She does some punk stuff around Buffalo, Cleveland area, but she runs a festival in June. And I was like, hey, can we just? I know you want us to play, but you actually haven't formally invited us to play. But can I just pretend we're going to play? And if they were to ask you, say, yeah, they're playing. So I shouldn't be saying this, but that's kind of what we have to do because it's a year from now. Pretend we're confirmed to do shows
to get them to kind of rush,
Yeah, I mean, and that's it.
A little bit. Kind of like applying for passports. Hey, I got a trip planned. Can I get that? Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the difference. You're right, man. You show them that your airplane ticket, and they're like, okay, we'll let you go. Anyway, it is what it is, man. No borders. No.
Yep. We'll see, man.
Yeah.
That could be a whole nother episode of the way everything's going, but it is what it's kind of depressing. But get out and enjoy it while you can, right?
That's it. And then you got to come see us in Canada.
Yeah,
we don't bite. Apparently, we're pretty nice up here. It's pissed off people, but generally we're pretty nice. Anyway, back to the ska.
For like any fans out there, like you said, you guys have been around for 3 decades, but like if there's any fans that are watching that are like new to hearing about the Planet Smashers, where would you send them to check out your stuff and tour updates and everything?
Well, the easiest thing to do is just to go to our Instagram and click on the link there, and you go to the link tree, and all the tour dates show up. There's a lot of options. We have a website, planetsmashers.net or something like that. But to listen to music, go to Apple iTunes or Spotify, or better, Bandcamp. That's where bands make more money. If you can do things off of that, that's the best for the bands for sure. But any one of those streaming sites will have our music. Do what you got to do. It's pretty easy. But again, the easiest way is Instagram, Plant Smashers on Instagram, and then just click on the link tree. And like I said, it all pops up. Tons of links. So.
And then after this release and the tour to support it, like what any other goals you guys got?
Well, we're not. This took 6 years, this last album. Like we did last one in 2019. And you think that during COVID, we would have done something. It was so much time on my hands, but I didn't do anything. I just, So I guess I want to get back to studio in January, February, March, do a 6-song EP to have it come out next fall. We're going to do, like I said, we got a lot of touring to do. We're planning to go to England in March, planning on more Canadian dates in May and April, and then our American immigration should be ready to go. There's a bunch of festivals I want to hit next year in 2026, and just keep on having fun with this, and experiencing different parts of the world. So that's what I want to do.
Awesome. And then before we get ready to wrap up, I want to ask you a couple questions I normally ask guests that I have on here.
Yeah.
You're talking about some of your earliest influences, like especially like in ska and stuff, but who would you say your top 3 musical artists are that you're listening to today?
Today? Oh man. Okay, let me see. Snapped Ankles. They're really weird, man. You should check them out. I don't even know where they're from. I was just getting into that pretty deep. White Reaper, believe it or not, I was into that. I've listened to that a lot. And then in the world of ska, I'm just gonna go with my buds Catbite, because they put out a 6-song EP. It's great. They're cool. I dig them.
Nice.
But check out Snapped Ankles if you can, man. That's some weird stuff. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, that definitely, sounds like like a MMA type music or something. But
yeah, I mean,
check it out.
It's intense, but yeah, right on, man.
And then, who are 3 people who have inspired you and you can credit for making you the person you are today?
Well, definitely my brother Dave. I mean, he beat me up a lot, but he definitely steered me in the right direction musically. Any member of the Clash, just because they had an influence at the time when I was growing up. And then finally, I'm gonna go with one more, eh? I'm gonna go my buddy, my best bud from university, Kevin Renfred. Bless you, bud. You're amazing. He just had a way of looking at the world that some people are like, yeah, I don't care what people say. But they kind of do. Kevin didn't, man. This guy did everything that was just whatever he felt like doing, he did it. And that kind of made me think, oh, life's not so serious. I can have fun doing things. I can do that instead of, being all uptight about things, think what people think of me. So I do my best not to, but it's still there. Anyway, there it is.
Nice. And then before the paper out, favorite toy as a child?
Oh, big wheel. Do you even know what a big wheel is?
Oh, yeah. I used to ride them.
Oh, man. Those were so rad. I never had one.
I'm 52, so I'm not too far behind you or around you.
I'd be out doing my paper route. I look down the street and there'd be a big wheel down there. I'm like, man, someday I'm going to have a big wheel. And then I tried it. That wasn't that good. But I still really wanted one. I mean, I could go back a little further and it would be like G.I. Joes. But then we started melting them. We were a bit of pyros. We were melting them a lot and blowing them up.
Well, kids are be having a field day at these temps lately.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need the magnifying glass, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I also told one of my daughters about that. She was like, why would you do that to the ants? I'm like, well, I had a magnifying glass. What am I got? Anyway. All right. Sorry, ants.
And then are there any causes or organizations that you support and encourage other people to check out?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, locally, I support quite a few. Dans la Rue, which is a youth, homeless youth program here in Montreal. It's outstanding. Dans la Rue means in the streets in English. Outstanding. Any cancer-related thing is, go get them. There's so many good causes out there, so
yeah,
they need help.
Yeah, definitely. But and then like you said, you guys got some tours coming up. You're hoping to put out an EP after get back in the studio early part of 2026, you were saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, like that could be. I kind of wrote a couple songs. The guys are, we're always looking. We already have other stuff that we want to try doing, so that'd be cool. But at the same time, we got a lot. We got to do a lot with this current album. We have 3 more videos done that are coming out, and I kind of want to have more. Just like there's some really good later songs on the album that I hope people will check out. That are very catchy and also very strong. I think it's a really good record. You always, as a musician, you're always like, oh, that's my best record. This is my best song I've ever written. The last one you wrote. So that's what I think. I thought that about the last album and the album before that. But, we'll do what we got to do. It'll be good. Excited to have the music out to the people.
Nice, nice. Well, Matt, man, it was good talking with you. Glad to have you on. Like I said, I wrote down the September 25th Cleveland date, so hopefully I'll get to see you in person, barring any, visa or travel issues or anything like that.
Be there. Bring your girlfriend.
Sounds good. Yeah. She'll definitely be excited to go, man. But real quick, before I let you go, you mind doing me one last favor?
Sure. What's that?
Mind cutting a promo ID for the show? Just introduce yourself, and you're listening to Today's Boondoggle.
Today's Boondoggle. You got it. I'll do it, man. You ready?
Yep.
Hey, man, this is Matt from the Planet Smashers, and you're listening to Today's Boondoggle. Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Awesome, Matt. Great talk with you, man. Appreciate that.
All right. Hey, man, you have a great rest of the day. Have some dinner and kick back and relax, okay?
Sounds good, man. Take care.
All right. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye.
All right! Listen up! Hold on to your seats. Grab your girls, grab your beers.
Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Anthrax, and you are listening to Today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now here's your host.
I am Monty Heath, so one Heath, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hey, what's up? It's John from Skillet, and you are listening to today's